Hello and welcome to another video here at Kia's EV Day in Barcelona, where we have been filming with all sorts of shiny new electric Kias all day. At some points today, when you're watching this, we will have released or will release a video about the new EV4 and EV2 concept. Those are very exciting, but this for me is an unexpected candidate for the most important car that we'll film today. This is the new Kia PV5, and the simple way of understanding it is it's Kia's answer to the VW ID Buzz, which is to say it's a boxy, funky looking, pure electric van that you can have as a commercial vehicle or a big, roomy passenger car. But actually, I think a better comparison for the PV5 is the little X-Bus that we saw a couple of years ago. Remember that thing? Sort of disappeared into the ether, but the thinking behind that vehicle is applied here, because this has a level of modularity that is absolutely staggering. It is, to quote the press literature, about 16 different cars into one. And when you combine that versatility with the sort of prices they're talking about, I think this thing is going to be one of the most significant cars we see this year. So, let me tell you more. This is the new Kia PV5, and this is the Fully Charged Show.
We've teamed up with Duracell Energy to celebrate their brilliant ecosystem of home energy products and their Platinum Homeowner offer by giving away a Duracell Bunny. To win, simply watch to the end and answer a question about Fully Charged.
Right, lots to discuss in not very much time, and mostly we're going to focus on the crazy amount of different variations that will be available for this PV5. But let's just very quickly acknowledge the design, because as vans go, kind of funky, isn't it? I feel like Kia is on a mission to see just how weird they can make headlight design. And they've really outdone themselves here. These are great. You've got these kind of vertical DRLs, and then the main beams are down there. It's very Blade Runner from the front. I quite like it. But the key thing here, unlike the ID Buzz, which is kind of a lifestyle product first and a commercial vehicle second, this is a commercial vehicle through and through. Notice the shape of it on the sides and the back. It's not all rounded and friendly. It's a proper, boxy, serious, sensible van, and that is absolutely central to the pitch here. The ID Buzz is a wonderful thing. I absolutely love that car. I especially like it as a passenger vehicle. But I've heard it said from people that know more than me about vans that as an outright commercial vehicle, as a cargo van, it's not as practical as it perhaps could be. Kia wants to ensure that that is absolutely not the case for this PV5. Now, let me take you through the multitude of versions of this van that will be available. Ignore this panel gap. This is a pre-prod car. It's a model, basically. Here's what you need to know. There's going to be a lot of different versions of the PV5. From launch, there's going to be 3 cargo vans. Short one, which I think this is. Longer one, same wheelbase, just more bottom behind the back wheel. And a longer, tall one, which the ID Buzz never had, by the way. There's also going to be 2 passenger versions. There's going to be the longer van as a 7-seater. That's the only way you're going to be able to have it. There's no stubby 5-seater like the Buzz. And there's also going to be a wheelchair accessible version from launch. Subsequently, more to come. There'll be a crew cab cargo, so that's 2 rows of seating and then cargo space. And perhaps most interesting, there's going to be a chassis cab version. So that is just the cab and a skateboard chassis at the back, onto which you can drop basically anything you want. Now here's where it gets really cool. Kia are actually talking about manufacturing and selling different kits that you'll be able to drop onto the back of your chassis cab PV5. So instead of having to buy the van and then go to some bloke to fit a fridge freezer unit onto the back, you'll be able to do that directly through Kia. They'll even put your branding up on the side, and you can have the brand new van delivered to you exactly as you want it. Get a load of some of these versions they're talking about. Drop side van, freezer box, something called Prime, which is like limousine seating, like uber luxury, and a camper. Nonetheless, it's very cool to have that much versatility, those many different options in a pure electric van. You might be thinking, well, all vans come in all those different ways. A Transit does. Yes, but this is the first bespoke electric vehicle that has all those different options, that uses proper EV architecture, and there are certain benefits to that. You get about 20% more space inside relative to the footprint of the vehicle. That's very nice. Number 2, you get a really low load height. As you'll see back here, this is mid-shin. I'm not a van guy, but I am told this is industry leading in terms of just how low they've managed to get that lip, so you don't have to do your back in putting heavy stuff into the back of it. As far as space, maximum cargo capacity for the longer, taller version of the PV5 cargo, oh my knees, is 5.2 cubic meters. That's compared to 3.9 in the Buzz, for context. And don't just think that this is a ridiculously lengthy vehicle. This longer version is still shorter than the short wheelbase ID Buzz by some 13, 14 centimeters. It is just more efficiently packaged. Again, highlighting the fact that this is very much intended to be a really serious commercial vehicle, first and foremost. Pre-prod. Right, that's quite enough of this one. Let's go next door. Let's have a look at the passenger version. Let's talk about the interior, and let's finish on the price, because that's like my big crescendo, shall we? Oh, nice in blue, isn't it? A couple of observations as we move on to this passenger one in this colour where we can see it a bit better. Number one, it is cool looking for a van, but if you stack it up against the ID Buzz, and I'm sorry to keep doing that, but they are really the only two of their kind in existence right now, this is definitely a van. Whereas the Buzz is kind of like, it can pass as a lifestyle vehicle. People are buying them as big estate cars. I don't really see that happening as much with this because it's a van, but it is better at being a van, as we'll get onto in a second. It is good looking though. I like the face on it. It's just weird and interesting. The other thing I've noticed as we move on to this version is that this one's a 5-seater. You know that version that a moment ago I was like, they're definitely not building, they have built it and it's here and it's coming to the UK. The thing about launching 90 cars in one day is that even the PRs aren't quite sure about some of the particulars. So apologies, I got some bad information. I've since been corrected. It is absolutely cavernous, and we've got some nice plush seats back here. This is a little bit swanky. A couple of charge ports, useful little storage trays. It's just enormous in here. Now let me just rattle off some numbers about battery and range, because this is really, really significant. So you're going to have a choice of 51.5 kilowatts or 71.2 kilowatt hour batteries. That's for all the versions. The cargo will also be offered with a smaller 43.3 kilowatt hour version for just, you know, like last mile delivery type stuff. It's going to be a front wheel drive single motor with a modest 120 kilowatts, more than enough for a van. Now here's the interesting part. Range will of course depend on spec and how much stuff is in the back, but they reckon up to 400 kilometers, which is 248 miles. Now that is tasty. Remember, in terms of the existing electric van landscape, you've got the ID Buzz, which is a good EV and has good range, but isn't a fantastic van. And then you've got all the other electric vans, which are just ICE-derived conversion jobbies. Very good vans, rubbish EVs, not very good range. This looks like being the best of both worlds. Now, forgive me if it's a bit dark in here. This particular pre-prod car gets full Korea spec limo tint. They love a smoked window in Korea. Anyway, what have we got? Well, we've got a very familiar steering wheel, which is really nice. It's got big, easy to press buttons. Those are also present on the dash. Just a really user-friendly cabin at a glance. But the most interesting thing is this infotainment screen, which is running Android operating system, not the usual Kia malarkey. And the reason for that is this Android system lends itself to loads and loads of third-party applications that might be relevant to whatever your business relies on day to day. That's another clear demonstration of the fact that this is a serious commercial vehicle first and foremost. Another thing I have to just quickly shout out that I'm noticing as we speak, it's the amount of little storage cubbies in here. We've got a huge bin there, cup holders, little thing for your phone, glove box, just a ton of different cubbies in the door bin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. And look at this. Oh. Also, sorry, I keep telling Andy we're done with the interior and then noticing something else. Look at the size of this window. That's the biggest piece of glass ever fitted to an automobile. It's below my knee, the bottom of the window, so outrageous visibility. That is just a huge pit. Ooh, we found the downside. Okay, it's time to talk price. Now, for context, remember, a VW ID Buzz Cargo, which is very good at being an EV but not amazing at being a van, that starts in the high £40,000 in the UK. The Ford e-Transit, which is very good at being a van but not amazing as an EV because, well, it's not a proper EV, that starts in the mid £40,000. Kia, with this new PV5, which on paper looks to be very good at being a van and an EV, are targeting a sub £30,000 entry price. I mean, if that is true, this thing is nothing short of a revelation, and hopefully this van is going to be the shot in the arm that the electric commercial vehicle segment really needs to start finally gaining some proper momentum. Do you know what? This thing, surprise star of the day, I reckon. Very excited to learn more about it, very excited to get behind the wheel. But for now, please make sure to like and subscribe. If you have been, thank you for watching.
We're really excited to partner with Duracell Energy to showcase their amazing renewable energy solutions. If you want to reduce your energy bills and join the renewable energy transition, installing home battery storage and solar panels at home is a great way to start. Duracell Energy's ecosystem of products typically partners with solar panels, but they can be just as effective without it, particularly for electric vehicle owners or anyone looking to take control of their energy. And with Duracell Energy's Platinum Homeowner offer, viewers can get a custom service that pairs you with top quality products and the best installers in your area. Your installation also comes with a 20-point check, a 6-month performance review, system health checks at 3 and 10-year periods, and outstanding local UK customer support every step of the way. Duracell Energy's batteries, inverters and EV chargers work together on one easy-to-use app. With features like dynamic tariff integration and grid services, you'll be able to maximise your return. Ready to get started? You can get your quote today. And don't forget, we're also giving away a Duracell Energy Bunny in every episode. Just answer the question about Fully Charged by following the link in the description. Good luck!